Hello, welcome back to another video. It's Steve again, your YouTube English teacher, specializing in Cambridge B2 C1. This one is a bit more C1 because it's pretty difficult, and it's all about use of English part 1. That is where you have 4 options and you need to choose the best option to complete the sentence. And I've made what I consider a really useful original activity, as always, that I will be doing with my students in private classes and in classes at school, and which I will also share on YouTube. So let's get straight into it. We are thinking about the most common questions. So normally you think part 1 is just loads of vocab, and how am I going to learn all the vocab in English? True, you can't. But there are some typical repeated ideas that come up again and again that you can practice to get better at. So let's start with the first one, which is location words. Words referring to the location of something. Obviously, they're all fairly similar. What I've done is made 4 sentences with 4 words. Obviously, in the exam, there's only 1 sentence. You choose 1 correct answer and you throw away 3 that don't fit. But I'm giving you extra value here. You get 1 question and you learn 4 things. So what you need to do is pause the video and put the correct word in the correct sentence. So A, the of the gig has been changed. Would you say spot, setting, corner, or venue? They all mean location, place, but only one is correct given the context of the sentence, given the meaning of these words. Pause the video, and here come the answers. And if you know them, well done. And if you didn't, make a note and listen to my explanations, or Google it yourself. But there is a specific reason why this is the answer, and it is thought that you should know this for your C1 exam. That's the point, isn't it? You should know these kind of things for your C1 exam. For example, A is venue, because venue is referring to a place that's being used for something, specifically very often a commercial place. So we're talking about a music gig, a concert, you're selling tickets to go there, it's the venue of the gig. B, we need a more general word for where would a walk take place. It's in a rural setting. You probably wouldn't say spot because we're talking about a whole walk, and spot is a bit more like a single point, as we'll see in a minute. C, remote corner. This fits better. You often talk in the exam about the 4 corners of the world or a corner of the country. So corner of fits well. And then the last one, like I said, a picnic spot, a place to have your picnic. It's more of a point, so spot fits better, as in a place where something is happening. So there's your location words. Let's move on. We're going to have 8 of these in this video because there's 8 questions on the exam. The next one is thing words. So you could, for all of these, say thing, but then you wouldn't sound very educated and intelligent, would you? You should instead use words like items, elements, matters, and goods. Pause the video, put the correct word in the correct sentence. Here come the answers. A is items. We're talking about things, and if they're on show, they're being displayed, it's probably a museum, they are items. B, we're talking more about conceptual, abstract things, matters. And also matters pertaining to is a bit of a set phrase. It always goes together. I mean, you could maybe say issues, matters, questions, but matters fits from these options. C, again, we need something fairly conceptual, talking about like the essential quality of something. Those are the elements of different styles of cinema, which means D must be goods, as in possessions. We're talking about things that you own or things that are on sale, that kind of thing. We're talking about goods. So there we go. That's things. Well done. You've learned about some things. Question 3, quantities. And obviously, we're not just saying big, small, more, less at C1. They are a bit more nuanced. Pause the video. Try and put the correct word in the gap. There is a best answer for these, as always. You could maybe argue with me and come and have a go if you think you're hard enough, but I'm saying there's a best answer, and I'll explain why. A, we're going to say fewer, because we are counting how many resources we have, a general quantity, we're going to say fewer, and we're talking about things that are countable, as in most resources. B, it's a bit of a phrase, to a lesser extent, to a greater extent, to a lesser extent are phrases. C, what would concerns be described as if they're not a very big deal, not important, they are trivial, and a slight chance means a small chance. So there we go, all small quantity words. You could do the same for big quantity. There we go, that's your extension task. If you're a really good student who finished this too quickly, make your own sentences, but instead of fewer, more, I guess it's a bit easy, but greater, and so on. Question 4 are the typical C1 linking words, which are sort of similar, all contrasting or adding or comparing information. You should know these by now if you're studying C1, but they are still on part 1 as well as part 2. Sentence A, here comes the answer. You've paused the video and you've written the answer for each of these. A must be despite, because it's despite something. It's followed by a noun or a noun phrase, despite warnings. So I'm imagining the child threw the ball despite the fact that their parent told them not to, or despite their parent telling them, noun phrase. B, it is dangerous, although most people take precautions. So while it's dangerous, most people take precautions. Here we are followed by a verb phrase, most meaning most people. So a subject, a verb, although is followed by a verb phrase. And C, some say he's the best. So some say this, but many think the opposite, otherwise meaning the opposite. And D, you can study besides using textbooks, apart from, not just using this, using something else, meaning apart from. So there we go, some slightly more advanced linking words that you might find on part 1. Number 5, this is where it gets interesting for me, because I'm really trying to capture the essence, as we just saw on this first question, of some of the common verbs you get. So when you're talking about reviewing something that happened, giving opinion, saying what happened, that kind of thing, these are the kind of verbs you might find on C1 part 1. Pause the video, put the best verb in the correct sentence. And the first sentence is succeed, because you succeed in doing something. The second sentence is achieves, because you achieve something. You achieve a goal, achieve an ambition, achieve a perfect blend. C, you can reach dizzying heights, reach a great height. And the performance manages to remain, manage followed by the infinitive. So 4 different reviews there using different verbs. More verbs, reporting verbs. So this is really common, saying like studies and things, what happened with them. Basically saying what happened with something, reporting it. 4 similar verbs again that can be used in similar contexts. Put the correct one in the correct sentence. And the answers are A, reveals. A study reveals some facts. B, your expression can betray your feelings. It gives it away. Similar to reveal, but fits better because we've got this idea of you tried to keep a poker face, but your expression betrayed your feelings, the contradiction. C, you sustain your innocence, as in you say I was innocent. And D, you unearth new evidence. In this case, Dr. Gregory House unearthed new evidence to find out why the patient was ill. So to unearth, to uncover, to find, similar to reveal, but fits this sentence better. Number 7, linked to this, we're saying there was a study. Well, what were the consequences? What were the results of these studies, of these things that are happening? This is another really common type of question on your C1 exam. This time we've got 4 nouns that follow in the blanks. Pause the video. Here come the answers. First one is study again, so we're talking about the findings of a study. The findings are worrying. Now, these have been issued by the government, so they are rulings, as in regulations, laws, rulings. We can have reports of harassment, people are reporting it, and we can have a sighting of a rare bird, which is cause for encouragement. We should be encouraged because people saw it. There have been sightings. So different words for like the consequences of a study or something that's happened. Finally, number 8. Hope you're doing well so far. Hope you're learning something. Number 8. I had to finish with this, didn't I? Little warning here, caveat emptor and all of that. This is very, very difficult to study, phrasal verbs. I've included one that is a fairly typical C1 level phrasal verb, but how do you practice these? I don't think I've got any videos on it because really it's just general immersion in English, absorbing, reading, as I say in most of my videos, reading plenty so that one sounds best in these sentences, which I will now show you which one does sound best. A, the answer is set off, super common Cambridge verb, meaning to start travelling if we'd set off according to plan. I didn't like the trailer. I was put off by the trailer. To be put off by something means you don't like it because of that. C, to make off with, means to escape, to especially talking about thieves, stealing, robbing, and all these things. And obviously milk goes off if it's not in the refrigerator. So all with off, very different verbs, very different meanings. Anyway, that's enough part 1. Hope that was useful. I'm going to do the same next week for part 2, where we try and think, what can you really study to get good at your CAE use of English? Thanks. Bye.